Okay, so I shared with you earlier this particular basket. It's where I keep all my repackaging supplies in, and I think it works pretty good. Like, it's a sturdy basket, so it can handle the weight, but there's a few things in here that need to be tidied up. So I think I'm going to work on that. This is my numbering system, okay? And normally this fits in here as well, so everything's all contained. So I do want to create some sort of dividers in here to separate the different sizes and just make it a little bit neater. So that's one thing that needs to be done. I'm a sucker for little package and, you know, whatever, little baggies, so we'll see. I got bags within bags within bags. Like, come on, do we really need this many? So I think what I wanted, these are cellophane bags, and these are a great size for packaging up. Not these ones. Yeah. These ones here are a great size for packaging up cards, especially if you want to sell or gift. So these ones are very useful. These ones are, they're great for 4x6, right? So if you think photos and stuff like that. I don't know if I've ever used these. It's still completely enclosed. So I'm not sure about this one. So we'll think about that a little bit more. These are larger bags, and I think I have more of them. These bags here I don't use for anything. I think we'll just see if anybody else can make use of them. I don't think they need to stay in my craft room. 12x12 bags I use a lot, or I recycle and reuse them, so we're going to hold on to that. Now I would not likely reuse these page protectors as like for my albums, because they are pretty marked up from being, you know, put in boxes and stuff like that. I love these by Studio Calico. I repackaged all my hip kits into these, and so I'm definitely holding on to these. Like I said, I got bags within bags. It's ridiculous. So let's see, what do we have here? 12x12 bags. Okay. These are all 12x12-ish. Good. Now, I don't know if I need to keep all of these. That's something we may need to evaluate. I bought these thinking they would be good for kits, but they're 12x15, and you really need them to be bigger than 12. So ideal would be like 13x15. Now I can still use these for things like how I package my collections that go on the shelf, not the ones that hang in the closet. So if I think we'll keep those. I just bought them. There's always uses for plastic, right? Plastic bags. Oh. And then I have the job ticket holders. This is what I use for storing my 8.5x11. Nice thing about using plastic and with the label maker is the labels just peel off really easily. Usually I don't leave like much of a sticky mess on them, so that's great from a reusing perspective, right? Okay, then I have 6x6 pockets. I bought these at the dollar store or Dollarama in Canada a long time ago, and I use these for like the 6x6 stencils. It works really well, so I'm not going to get rid of these, but I do think I need to put a pack in my basket. Oh, this poor easy mount. Okay, so this is useful for if you buy unmounted stamps. You can add this to the back and it will turn it into what's the right word? It'll turn it into cling mounted. Okay, that's better. A little bit more stability. Okay, so we got page protectors, job ticket holders, there we go, easy mount, those. So, I also have a bunch of these foam magnet things, and I used to use these for storing my dies on them. And I still do occasionally. The only, like if I run out of the thin stuff, the problem is that it's got the foam on here, so it's like super thick. Seeing as I have the space, I'm going to hold on to these for a little while longer. Like I said, I have used them occasionally, and maybe I'll come up with a craft project, because you know, that's the way I roll. Okay, so I didn't find any more of these. I'm just going to move them along. These here will stick in this bag or this envelope. That way we can see what we have. Okay, that'll keep it nice and contained. Okay, so all of this can go back in that box. And does it fit on the side? Okay, so I fit those 12 by 12 sheets down there at the bottom, and I quite like that. That way they lie nice and flat. Anything in these job ticket holders, we're just going to put on the side like that. Actually, we'll just do anything that's left. We'll use that kind of as a brace. These big poly bags will lay down flat. I have 6 of those, and let's see, I've got quite a few of these. I don't think I need to keep them all. So let's get rid of the ones with the hangers on them, because I know those are from my local scrapbook store and those are easy to replace. So all of these we're going to stick in one bag. Air. And these ones I think I'm just going to fold over. Perfect. So much better than the way it looked before. Now I should be able to find exactly what I'm looking for fairly easily because it's filed vertically. Okay. I only have 3. I must have gotten rid of a bunch. So I'm going to hold on to them because they are useful for crops and stuff. Not that I go to that many, but I'm planning on changing that. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the basket, make some dividers, sort that out, and I'll show you that when it's finished. Okay, so to make the dividers for my little basket full of storage supplies, the largest size of pocket that I have is about, well, I want to say it's 6 by 8-ish. So I decided to trim these cardstock pieces to 7 by 9, and I needed 8 dividers. I have my Amazon Basics laminator here. I've never had any issues with this. I've had it for a couple years. I've used it for foiling. It seems to work okay. There's 2 thicknesses, 5mm and 3mm. I think I have 5mm, but I don't remember, so we're gonna just go with it and see how it works. And I bought the laminator sheets at off Amazon as well. And basically the trick when you laminate is you need to make sure you have a bit of plastic all the way around. So if you look at this here, this is too tight. Like there's not enough seal up here, it'll just peel apart. So we do have to go the other way. Now this is not an optimal use of the laminator sheets, but it is what it is. Now if you're really concerned about the wasted plastic on either ends, you know, if you've got something else to laminate, stick that in. I'm not going to worry about it too much, so I'm just going to line this up as best I can, and I'm going to leave probably about 1/4 inch border, and then we're going to feed this through. And I can never get this in very straight, but you want this to go in as straight as possible, and I'm putting in the folded edge first, and very gently just get it started. You'll feel it, the rollers grab it, and then you just let it do the rest. If you've put this in crooked, so it starts to bump to get an edge, you can try very slightly to apply a little bit of pressure, but I haven't had much success with that. So I usually just try to get it as centered as possible and run this through. So I'm going to do this 8 times, and then we'll trim them down and finish it up. You can see it's coming through already. If you're really concerned about the seal, you could run it through a second time. I've done that before too. But I think this will be okay just the once. Okay, so I'll check in with you once these are all laminated. Okay, so I have all my dividers. Not in the right order. There we go. And I made some labels using these tags that I have. I just picked these up in bulk from Amazon. I don't know, they were dirt cheap. And I think they're kind of cute, and I'm going to try and use these to label most of the stuff in my craft room, and we'll see how that goes. Some of the things I think it'll work better on and others not so much. So I'm just going to cut off the strings because I don't need them in this case, and I think they'll just end up making a mess. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to staple them just like that, and small, and just continue going down all the way through, and then we'll put them in the box and I'll show you how it looks. Okay, so I'm just going to tilt this up so you can see how it turned out. I didn't count for the fact that the basket actually slopes in at the side, so I should have made these just a hair bit smaller. But it still works. I'm okay with it. I think what I'm going to do is, because it's a little wider in the middle than it is towards the ends, is I think I'll put the machine up front, and then I've got each of my sections, and then the numbering system, and then the tapes are at the back. And I think I like that. It's definitely neater than it was. So let's hope it's just as functional. Okay, everybody, I think this is where I'm going to leave off for today. I'm pretty happy with what I've got accomplished, and I hope this has encouraged you to tackle another area in your craft room. And let me know in the comments below how it's going for you if you're playing along. And if you aren't, but want to, what's holding you up? What's holding you back? What's preventing you from doing it? Maybe we can offer each other encouragement. Anyways, until next time, happy crafting.